this is an important point, because one aspect where you can miserably fail despite yourself, despite your intelligence, is not read your own inner strengths. And this is a huge majority. People who fail to read their own inner strength are almost condemned to a stressful life. Because you have built in structural stress inside you at the subconscious level. This is the problem. You build in what is called structural stress inside your mind. Why? Because your subconscious drives you in a certain way, or wants to drive you in a certain way. In your conscious mind, you've chosen something. And therefore, stresses build up at a subconscious level. It affects you in so many ways. It disturbs your peace. It disturbs others' peace. I know it's very difficult for you to relate to what I'm saying at this stage, because many of you are very young. But I just thought, as a good friend, I'll caution you on this aspect. Okay, so that many times you have to manage this aspect. And what I'm telling you is good for you in the sense that you will be able to retain a certain sense of purpose and a certain sense of peace in what you're doing, dealing with yourself. This is one of my favorite concepts. It's come from the Kathopanishad. It's a beautiful conversation between the small boy Nachiketas and Yama. Okay, Katha Upanishad. I'm not going into the story, but in one of the conversations, the part of the conversation, there is an explanation of how it is important for a human being to distinguish between good and pleasant. Okay, so you can again have a 4-box model where you have good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant. So there are several experiences, nature is kind enough, where it's both good and pleasant. Okay, like for example, wonderful music is both good and pleasant. Okay, there are several experiences in life which are pleasant but bad. Bad in a sense that it harms you in some way. It harms you either physically or mentally. Okay. A simple example I'm going to give you. Okay. How would you like it if I tell you that our own posture, simple posture, sitting or standing, can harm us in the long run, can take away healthy living in the long run? Okay, I'm a person who has suffered. So I'm telling you from my suffering. I had perfect eyesight until I was about 42, 43 years old. Perfect eyesight. Very, very good eyesight. Today, I cannot read normally. I have to wear my specs. And one of the reasons is I was going after pleasant. Okay, it was pleasant for me and I think it was all right. But if I reflect back, I don't think I should have been peering into the computer screen for so many hours per day. Now I can look back and say, but sometimes lessons in life come a little late. You know? And you have to take it in your stride. It's all right, I'm in this condition, let me move on. But I did that. 8 hours per day, 10 hours per day, looking at the goddamn computer screen. MS Word, PowerPoint, whatever. Browsing. It hurts. It's good in the short run, but hit me in the long run. Posture. Okay, I've got a problem with my right hip. Okay, there are times when my parents used to say, Ganesh, the best way to sit and eat is like this, the traditional Indian way. Sit and eat like this. And nothing doing, it's all right. It's pleasant to sit like this and eat. It's pleasant to slouch like this. You feel very comfortable when you do that at that point in time. But good ergonomics will tell you that if you do this, you're actually messing up your lower back in the long run. Which means you're trading off long-term health for short-term comfort and pleasantness. I think if you go by that yardstick, almost all of us are fools. Am I right? If you're trading off your long-term good health for short-term pleasantness, it's rather foolish. Definitely not wise. Okay? Definitely not wise. So we have all these kinds of issues. So pleasant good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant. So that's the lesson. All that is good need not be pleasant. Okay? And you can work out that thing. So if you are able to understand that aspect, that's another area where you can take care of yourself when you deal with yourself. Okay? But everything boils down to that central idea which I told you. Are you mindful? And some of the great people who have walked this earth have always said, the art of good health, body and mind, is in being mindful. Because never forget this lesson. It is your subconscious mind that is the strongest driver of your life. It's well known. It's not your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind, which is the strongest driver of your life. Okay? And now, my last part, why am I liking what I do? It was in my Bits Pilani days where I had this blind spot, where some of my friends came and told me, Ganesh, you seem to have this strength. You are a reasonably good communicator. You can express yourself fairly clearly. I said, I didn't know that. I said, no, we are telling you, try it. And then I slowly got into it and then I decided. Basically, I come from a business family. I could have stuck on and be wallowing in my millions in terms of being in business. I'm not earning that much here, but it's okay. I'm very happy. In fact, I always say, if somebody asks me the question, Ganesh, why are you a teacher? I said, first thing is I'm always with young people. And they change every year. And most important, nobody gives you a 2-month or 3-month paid holiday in summer. Thank you very much. It doesn't mean all of you become teachers. Okay. Because that's another dangerous part. If you don't want to become a teacher and you become a teacher, you have a damning multiplier effect also. After that, that shouldn't happen. That's a dangerous thing to do. Okay. So, these are some of the things I thought I'll share with you because we are running out of time. I hope you'll keep these points in mind in dealing with yourself. Okay? Please don't forget them. Can somebody quickly summarize just the points? What remains in your mind? What was the first point I discussed? Learn the art of communication. Don't forget the 60-30-10 proportion. Please do not forget it. 60% of communication effectiveness depends on body language, 30% on diction, and only 10% on content. Who said so? Good researchers have said so. I don't trust them. You play your game. No problems. That's also a philosophy in life. If I have very good friends, I'll tell them, hey, Machan, do this. And that fellow will say, no, da, I'll do this. And I say, okay. The wall is there. Bang. You can tell somebody, look, it'll pain you if you bang and you're going head on. And the fellow will say, no, I'll do it. Then the fellow will say, right, bang. And they'll come back, hey, wonderful experience.